I'm here talking with Chris Thom from Guardian Angels Records here in the heart of Aberdeen Student Radio.
Hi, thanks for having us in. My name is Chris Thom, and I work for a company called Guardian Angels Records, which I co-own and run with my sister, the singer Sandi Thom. We're in town just now doing a little bit of radio promo with our new artist, Mr. Dave O'Grady. We've done a bunch of gigs and some radio visits over the last few days, promoting the release of his debut record, Dirty Little Secret, which is out now to download from iTunes.
How did you get into the record industry, per se?
Kind of by accident, really. Or, I don't know, perhaps it was fate or chance or kismet, I don't know. But I've been with the label for the last 2 years. And I started off life as a helicopter pilot. So I was out in America, I lived in Florida, I worked out there, and I came back here. And I was kind of in a transitional phase. I was finishing off my European license, and that took, the best part of a year when I came back, just doing courses, down in England and stuff. And about the same time, Sandi was wanting to set up her own independent label after she parted company with Sony. So I came on board temporarily just to give her a hand, really, because she needed, she needed a hand, someone she could trust and whatnot. And I was kind of in that middle ground between training and working. So I came on board temporarily, and 2 years later, I am still here.
You a musician yourself at all? Have you kind of got into that side of things as well?
We've got very much a musical family, going back to even our granny, on both sides, mum and dad's family. And I played the piano and the guitar when I was a kid, but we both received piano lessons at the same time, actually. Me from my auntie Nellie, Sandi from her daughter Jacqueline, who were both piano teachers. But I guess when I hit puberty, my priorities just changed dramatically, and
you want to fly.
I was too busy chasing tail, and the piano lessons just kind of fell by the wayside.
Chasing women in a helicopter.
Eventually that came. If ever I was struggling, chatting up a bird in a bar, I would just flash out the license, baby, and say, "Hey, what do you think of that?" I'm not lying.
I'll have to get mine laminated, actually, so just to make it official, because a lot of people don't believe me when they say I can fly helicopters.
Well, absolutely.
I can have a go at it,
especially because the British license is like A5. It's a book, really. But the American license is wallet-sized,
And you've got
so they're always a bit suspect when they flash the American license, because you could have bought that easily in a moto service station, one of those things that spit out bounty hunter IDs and stuff.
Oh yeah, and you must be wearing aviator specs in the photo as well, I'd imagine.
Actually, it's not a photo ID, which is another.
I see. So I could masquerade as you on the night out anyway. So coming back to the record company. So you got Sandi Thom on board. He's just flashing. He's like, oh crikey! United States of America, excellent. But with the dress in Edsel, which is very
with the dress in Edsel,
fantastic.
No photo ID. Just a picture of the Wright brothers on the back.
Oh, aye. Okay, the guys who started off. Excellent. Well, that's actually made me want to sleep with you, pretty much right now. So, but we'll have to get this out of the way first, unfortunately. You've got Sandi on board, of course, in this record company. Any other artists that you're kind of promoting?
Well, yeah. Dave is the first artist basically that we've signed, and beyond Sandi, really. The last 2 years has been managing and furthering Sandi's career. We put out her third album last year, and a couple of UK tours here and there. So Dave's our first signing. We also represent a 13-year-old guitar prodigy called Aaron Keylock. He's Oxford-based, and this kid is just amazing.
Excellent.
Hendrix, and he's only 13.
Yeah.
And he's already, quite doing the rounds, on the blues rock circuit. Mm-hmm. And I would expect big things. Hear more from him.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if most of your artists were local, but if he's from Oxford, and I think Dave's got an Irish brogue, so.
Aye, Dave's originally from Dublin. We both live in Liverpool. Mm-hmm. We're based there these days. We've got offices in Edsel. That's our Scottish HQ. My sister is now permanently resident in LA, so we've got an office there, and Liverpool, and one in Cheltenham as well. And the Cheltenham office looks after Aaron Keylock.
Okay.
And that's only like 50 miles away from Oxford.
Yeah.
Also, we do a number of stuff as a label, beyond just the the standard record label stuff, we do offer a consultancy service for anyone within the music industry. We do tour management across the UK. We do photo and video services, again across the UK. You know, if you're a band or out there and you want one of your gigs photographed, we have a pool of photographers nationwide that will come and photograph your gig for you, or even just do some promo stills, you know, for artwork and whatnot. We also do digital design, so if you want a website built or an electronic press kit, which is a good thing to have for any up-and-coming band, we can undo all that for you and at a really good rate, far better than any other like professional web design people would do for you, and it's, you know, as good as.
Wow, it's like a one-stop shop for any artist, emerging artist. It's fantastic.
You know, absolutely, basically, yeah. You know, we're designing a website right now for a Scottish classical singer called Nicola Cassells. She does classical covers of contemporary songs. So like Biffy Clyro, you know, stuff that you wouldn't expect to hear.
So she's like almost like an
classically sung operatic pop star, you know.
Okay.
Basically, yeah.
So yeah, you don't just cover the pop genres. You're also moving, you know, you across the.
Yeah, absolutely.
Classical.
You know, we're not going to restrict ourselves to one specific genre at all. You know, we're there to service the entire industry as a whole.
Sounds like a great all over package. Obviously, you're the head of all this, but how many people have you kind of got working under you, or do you just kind of you use yourself as an agent to maybe get other firms on board, or do you try and do everything in house yourself?
We've got relationships, yeah, with other companies within the industry, but as far as the actual Guardian Angels team, we're basically we're a team of 5, and we all have our skill sets, and we're all based in different places.
Okay.
So that's Liverpool, Cheltenham, LA, Edsel.
Okay.
That's our locations.
Quite a spread there of.
Basically, you know, we all get together every Friday and we have a Skype conference and we just catch up and run down on what's been going on in the week and what's going to be happening in the week.
Like the side of your van is like in Only Fools and Horses. It's like LA, Cheltenham, Edsel.
There you go. Oh, what did it say? What did it say on there?
New York, Paris, London, Peckham.
Brilliant.
So there we go. How is as a record company exec do you compete with the age of digital downloads and the sort of burgeoning threat of piracy? Or not burgeoning, it's pretty much in full flow.
We're not in competition with digital downloads at all. We are embracing it because that is the future. CDs are a thing of the past. Radio is on the way out as well. Sorry. But digital is where it's a new frontier right now. It's an exciting time actually for the music industry. It's very much in flux, and the technology, the digital stuff is changing every day. There's something new coming along, and it serves us well as an independent label because now we can, as an independent label, get Dave O'Grady's music, for example, to a worldwide audience, you know, fairly easily. Mm-hmm. The major labels have been sitting on their hands for quite a few years now, you know, doing business according to an old business model, which right now is, and for the last few years, is kind of redundant, kind of obsolete.
Yeah. Bung all your CD production to Germany and then like wait for the sales to come in, that sort of thing.
Things are changing, and the thing that sets us apart as an independent label, sets us apart from the other independents out there, is by virtue of Sandi, and the fact that she was previously signed to a major, you know, so she's had a measure of global success, and we've amassed quite a lot of contacts throughout the industry, and it's that experience and those kind of contacts that we can offer to, you know, unsigned bands out there, up and comers, and anyone else who actually comes on as part of our roster, and that definitely sets us apart.
Yeah, it seems like you've hit the ground running in terms of you've got this huge act behind you, and with all the contacts, as you said. In terms of digital downloading, you say that's the future, but is there do you think there's a downside to that music's too easily reproducible and can be pirated a lot more easily these days, or do you think it's all good publicity?
The tools are out there for illegal downloads and whatnot, sure, you know, and people will take advantage of it. I think what the companies out there just now are trying to do is trying to find some way to offer the same service but make it more attractive and to the customer so that they will actually pay for it. So that they'd rather pay for it than go into to one of these illegal sites. Like I say, the future is digital as far as the music industry is, and it's a no man's land at the minute. Nobody really knows where it's going. Everybody knows it's changing and it's in flux, but if you try to have some kind of vision about where it's going to end up in 5 years, there's no real set model for that because it's changing every day. So it's just a case of trying to keep on top of it and trying to keep ahead of all these changes as well.
Would you say that your company's structured so much that you can think on your feet and you're very mobile and easily adaptable, rather than set in your ways like other record
Absolutely.
companies?
You have to be, really. You know, if you're going to survive, if you want to get ahead, if you want to prosper, then you have to be creative. You have to be innovative. You have to take risks. You have to take chances. Economic troubles going on around the world, affecting all facets of businesses and out there. We're in a recession, and now is the time to double down. It's not the time to cash in your chips. You double down, you take the risks, you get creative, and things will happen. We hope.
Excellent.
That's what we're all about. We're all about taking risks and redefining terms and doing our best to be at the forefront of this ever-changing industry and make it work.
Excellent. Sounds very, very exciting, and you've had a very exciting past and hopefully a very exciting future. And we'll be looking forward to hearing more from Guardian Angels Records, I'm sure, very, very soon.
Cool. Cheers.
Excellent.
Yeah. Well, I hope the same. Yeah.
Okay.
So 2012 is going to be a pretty big year for us. We've got our eyes on a few other acts at the moment that we're in talks with, courting, trying to get them down on paper, and got a lot of ideas. And it's just a case of us making those ideas happen.
Any hot tips for the next year? What are they going to be the emerging artists, and as far as you're concerned?
As far as our artists, I would keep an eye on Dave O'Grady. He's one to watch for sure. His debut record's out now. He's in the middle of writing his album. We're going to be hooking Dave up with some very cool people to co-write and produce this album. So yeah, I would expect big things from him next year. Similarly, Aaron Keylock, our little
prodigy,
blues rock guitar prodigy. Excellent. Again, we're hooking him up with some legendary people, people that have got more money than God and more hits to their name than a fine piece of hickory.
Excellent.
So,
well, actually, I can hear Dave just playing through the door there. This is actually almost a sealed studio. I can hear him just coming through the door here, and it sounds fantastic. And I've got a pair of headphones on.
He's playing his favourite, The Wait by the band.
The Wait. I'll go and sneak in a little.
One of his favourites.
I might actually tape a bit of it and stick it on YouTube.
Cool.
Just it's all good promotion. Anyway, thank you very much for speaking to us here today, and have excellent luck with all your artists. I'm sure you don't need any luck because the artists sell themselves, I'm sure. Thank you very much for coming and talking about what you do.
You're most welcome, and thank you for having me in.